Hello, and welcome back. So today I want to bring to you how to actually receive so much more in love and money. Now, this goes for everything, as it always does. But I was having a beautiful conversation with one of my one-on-one clients this morning on our call, and I realized that myself included in the past has really not understood what receiving actually is. And what I like to call this personally is expanding our receiving capacity. So just as we probably all know at this point, if we're speaking more scientifically, logically, when we are manifesting and we have our nervous system accustomed to receiving a certain amount of money, or I actually talked about this in a past video, where our bare minimum is, right? That's what we can always receive. We have no issues receiving this. We're not going to deny ourselves of it. We aren't going to block it. We aren't going to do any of that crazy stuff whenever we are up-leveling our manifesting reality, up-leveling our 3D. But when it comes to receiving more, because I personally don't want to operate on the bare minimum. I don't want to just experience the same level of wealth or the same level of connection in my relationship, or just never being able to experience more. I don't want to live like that. That's not how I desire to live my life. So when we talk about receiving more and really expanding the capacity to receive, this is where a lot of people get tripped up. So I realize I never introduced myself in my videos anymore, so I do want to go ahead and do that. Hi, I'm Farrell, if you are new here, and I work with high achieving women to, really blow up their income and also have that next level of love in relationship. And I want to help you manifest so much more. So that's what this video is obviously going to be all about. But what receiving actually is in the first place, it's not what you think you would accept. So a lot of people, a lot of women get this wrong. I did this in the past. It kept me very, very stuck. If anything, it kept me going, just kind of sliding back downhill, where I felt like I wasn't receiving as much anymore because I had a total misunderstanding of what receiving actually was. And this has so much to do with feminine energy as well. So this is very important. What I believed, and what so many women believe receiving is what you think you are willing to accept if someone were to offer it to you, or what you think that you are capable of letting flow into your life. So you're like, okay, yeah, if somebody offered me $1 million, I would obviously accept it, right? I'm totally open to receiving that. I'm totally open to receiving this next level of intimacy, this next level of love, this deeper level of connection from my man. Of course I'm open to that. Like, that's my biggest desire, right? We also confuse receiving with having a desire. A desire is really just showing you something that you want to experience. And that's why I always say, don't sit in the desire. This is horrible feminine energy advice, where it's like, yes, like ruminate and marinate in this desire. No, you never want to stay in the state of separation. That is going to kill your manifestations. So when it comes to receiving, you also want to be in the completion of it. But what receiving actually is, and how we can gauge our capacity of how much we are actually open to receiving in this moment, open to receiving in our current state of being, is to see what our 3D reality is showing us. Now, I usually say don't do this, right? We don't want to focus on the 3D. We don't want to focus on, oh my God, he's not giving me this. Oh my God, I'm not getting the 10K month in my business. We never want to ruminate on that separation and put our focus and attention on it. But obviously we are receiving cues from our reality. We're receiving suggestions from our reality. from our 3D, from our like tangible physical world that we are actually observing. And instead of just being delusional and ignoring what it's showing you, what I want you to do is actually look at what it's showing you and see that all it's showing you is how much you can receive. So if men or your man or your husband is not showing up for you in the relationship in the way that you want, you're not being provided for. You're not being treated to the dates that you want. You are not being pursued. You're not even able to, you're not even experiencing his presence in your life. Like, he's not able to be present with you. He's always on his phone. He's always, kind of avoiding you, like never wanting to initiate that time together. You aren't feeling desired. This should not show you your solidified reality. This should not trigger something in your mind of like, well, I'm not saying it should or should not, right? But the way I want you to shift this in order to actually receive more is to, instead of seeing that as making it mean something about you, like, oh, I'm undesirable, my husband never pursues me, he never wants to take me on dates, like he neglects me, I'm so unsafe, da 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 da. What I want you to shift this into is actually allowing it to paint a picture for your state of being, show you how you are showing up, what state you are in, what kind of woman you are viewing yourself as, and then using it as a divine mirror to show you what your receiving capacity currently is. So I sent out an email. If you're on my email list, you would have read this, or I think I actually posted this on YouTube as well, about men mirror you. Men mirror you. This is never about making it mean something about you. It's always about looking at it as, what is this showing me about how much I can receive? So let's get into expanding this receiving capacity. How can we receive more money? How can we receive more love, juicy, polarity, like whatever you want to experience in your relationship? How can we actually do this? Expanding your receiving capacity, one, requires the awareness that we just talked about, right? So it requires the awareness of, what is this showing me? What is this mirroring to me? So in that shift, we move away from, it means this about me, it confirms I'm bad, I'm not good enough, I'm undesirable, whatever. We've already shifted that. Now that you know this, like, you'll never look at this the same. So if you're like, how do I shift this? I can't. No, you know this now. It's activated. It's just a muscle that you have to build on now. But after that is activated, and that is, an awareness that you now have, now we want to move into, okay, let's expand it. So expanding this receiving capacity, of course, has to do with your state of being, who you are being. Who you are being. And what this has to do with is how long, if we want to look at it as a timeline sort of thing, or how often can you come back to the completed state of having what you actually desire complete. So not the thought process of, well, yeah, of course, if he would just finally provide for me, then of course I would be able to receive that. That's backwards. That's going to keep you in the loop of disempowerment. It's going to keep you in separation. We don't want to go there. But this is how 99% of people think, myself included in the past, myself included still sometimes, and I have to snap myself out of it, right? So the way of viewing this and the way of shifting yourself is now to go into, well, what do I actually desire to experience completed, right? So if it was already complete, if you were already provided for, what would you be receiving? If you were already, I don't even want to use the word if here. You are already provided for. You have decided on that. That's complete. It's done. That's what you're receiving. You aren't asking the question, why is he not doing this? You aren't asking the question, when is he going to ask me on the date? You aren't asking yourself these questions. And I'm not saying that you're wrong if you are, but now we get to observe, okay, what is my reaction telling me about the state that I'm in? So your reactions are not these things that are going to mess anything up. Your reactions are not something that are going to kill your manifestation. Your reaction is not something that is, makes you bad or makes you emotionally unstable or like emotionally immature. No. This is actually something in the feminine energy space I think is, it can be used as such a tool, and it's taught completely, I hate to say wrong, but in a disempowered way, where it's like, well, don't emotionally react, right? Like, don't emotionally react. Well, first of all, we are feminine creatures. That's not likely. And second of all, your reactions to things are actually very powerful because they're going to show you where your triggers are or where your, the edge of that receiving capacity is. Or it's going to show you where a desire is. Behind every complaint is a desire. It's going to show you something. So if you use your reactions, right? If you get flustered about something and blow up on someone or emotionally react, you're not like killing the polarity and then ruining your manifestation and ruining your relationship and all that, right? No, we don't want to look at it that way. The way we can look at this is, oh, my reaction is showing me the state of being that I am in currently. I don't like being in this state. So why would I stay in something that I don't enjoy, that I don't like? Why do I believe, for example, this has been a thing for me, right? Why do I believe that my life should be my life should be miserable, right? Why do I believe that? Oh, I don't actually like that. I don't want to experience it that way. So now, because my reaction has shown me this, I'm not going to make it mean I'm a bad person. I'm not going to make it mean that I messed up, that like now my husband isn't going to pursue me because of some thing that I've learned about feminine energy of like, oh my God, don't emotionally react or he won't pursue, whatever. It doesn't mean any of that. All that it means is that I am in a state of being and I'm going to continue manifesting the things that I do not want from that state of being because it's already giving me what I don't want. And I get the opportunity to shift it. And also, everything that you are receiving in the moment, this is very important to add to this. Say you've already consciously shifted this, right? Because I know a lot of you are not new to manifestation. You've been watching my videos for a while. You've probably been implementing the things that I have also brought to the past few videos, of course, because you are a queen. And you're like, okay, I've been doing this for the past few weeks. Like I've been doing this for a while. And things shift, but then they kind of rubber band back, or maybe you haven't seen that full shift yet. Why is that happening? So what you're currently receiving, if you are in the conscious action, I hate to use the word action here, but if you're in the conscious action and the intention of continuously shifting your state, and you've been coming back to this, and you have been using this as a mirror for yourself, and you've been raising that bare minimum, like I talked about in the last 2 videos, and you still aren't seeing it, or things are not ideal, just know that what that is a continued manifestation of your old dominant state of being. So it doesn't mean, and it's all a suggestion too, it does not mean that what you're doing right now is manifesting that which you are seeing right now, if you're in this conscious reinvention of your reality. Now, if you're obviously you've been on autopilot mode, you've never heard this before, or you know that you haven't been doing it, and you've been in an unideal state of being, and you haven't been showing up as a woman in her complete state of what she actually desires, then this is different. you can definitely look at your 3D and it's going to tell you exactly what state you're currently in. So there's a difference there. If you've been doing it, just know it might be and probably is an old continuation of an old state of being. But if this is something that you just started, the timelines, I guess you could say, are going to be much closer. And so even if you decide to shift today, now in the future, you may see the continuation of that old state of being. So if you like this and you've been implementing this, or you want to now and you've committed to that, definitely highly recommend you signing up for my free masterclass that I'm going to be teaching on May 10th. It's going to be in a couple of days now. So I'm super excited. Mistress of Manifestation. We're going to go into this so much more and all about state of being and really manifesting that next level of reality for yourself. This is not for the women who are, who view themselves as stuck in survival mode, or anyone who is viewing themselves as unable to change their situation. They're like looking for that last ditch approach to finally have something work for them. No, that's not who this is for. This is for higher achieving women who really desire that depth in their relationship and also are willing to show up and take this insanely radical responsibility for their reality and how everything is showing up for them, and knowing that they are truly the power in shifting the state in her entire world. No one else is responsible for that. There aren't circumstances, there aren't men, there aren't clients that are responsible for shifting that for her. So if you want to get in there, or you're just curious to see what it's about, definitely sign up below. I will leave a link in the description. Also, I do have one spot left for working one-on-one with me, so definitely go ahead and apply there. I will also leave that link below, or email me at theinsightgoddess@gmail.com. So I love you so much, and I hope you found this video useful. Definitely comment below, or even comment about, how you are deciding to shift, or how you haven't been shifting. I want to hear it all. So I will see you in the next one, and goodbye. Love you so much.